How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. I said in one of my previous videos that when I showed off my entire Batman main run collection, if the video did well, I would consider going over all of my current Detective Comics collection. And that actually ended up being the best performing video that my small channel has had, both in terms of number of views and how many views in such a short amount of time. So today, I'm going to do what I said, and we're going to go over my entire current Detective Comics Batman collection, so I hope you enjoy. Alright, we are just going to start this off with the only annual I have from Detective Comics, and this is annual number 2, I believe it is. And same as last time, because of the sheer number, we are just going to take one from the box, put it back in, so I don't have these falling all over the place. Here we have Detective Comics 314. This one, great Moby Dick cover. It's in a little bit worse for wear condition, but the colors on it are still actually decent. Then sticking with the animal theme, we have Detective Comics 315. This one actually, especially for the year, is in pretty decent shape. The yellows are nice and vibrant. The red in Detective Comics is still nice and vibrant. Then we have Detective Comics 331. This one's probably in like a fine plus condition. Great, vibrant pink background. Detective Comics number 332. And this is a classic Carmine Infantino cover with a nice neon colors popping off of that black background. Going back to the animal theme, we have Detective Comics number 333. This one is in great shape. It is honestly probably in the very fine condition. So for the 60s, that is beautiful shape. This color too, great centering. Really happy when I got this one. Detective Comics number 335. This is a nice classic great green cover. I don't see as many with the green, so it's nice to actually have one of those in there. Detective Comics number 336. This one is also super high grade, especially for how solid and black that background is. And same as before, super good centering on the spine. Great Scarecrow, Batman being turned into a Scarecrow cover by the witch up there, silhouetted against the moon. Really love this cover. And you'll notice with the Detective Comics, as opposed to my Batman collection, I have significantly more from the Silver Age than I do in the Batman run, because this one, I really started zoning in on the Carmine Infantino covers first, so I'm way ahead on these ones. This is Detective Comics 337, another super great green, deep green background. Detective Comics number 338. This one also would actually probably be closer to like a near mint minus. There is a slight, what I believe is pencil, and I haven't had the courage to try to gently erase it off there or touch it in any way, but everything else about this book is almost perfect. This one is also beautiful. Then we have Detective Comics number 339. This condition is a little bit closer to mid-plus grade. I got it in a bundle with a few others, and for what I paid for the bundle, the condition of one or two of them was so good that I ended up winning it at a decent price for the whole bundle. But because of that, a couple of the issues were a little bit lower than I would have liked, but this one still presents well. Super cool red cover. Another super classic Carmine Infantino cover, Detective Comics number 341. Great Joker in the Batman costume Robin cover. And now we're going to get into that classic little checker going up top. We have Detective Comics number 349. Another nice dark background. Then we have Detective Comics number 350. And some of these too, a good chunk of these, I also won in a lot of either YouTube claim sales or eBay auctions. Detective Comics number 352. So I said there I did not see a lot of green covers, but going through all these now, there's a lot more than I remember, because this is another gorgeous one. The purple jacket of the guy, offsetting the green beautifully. Detective Comics number 353. You got the Weather Wizard jumping from the Flash's book into the Batman book. Super awesome purple background. Beautiful, high grade. Spine is beautiful. Then we are going to go with Detective Comics number 356. I believe this is the first appearance of the Outsider, who I haven't read it, but I think is actually Alfred for some reason. So a lot of these ones I've been afraid to kind of go through because of the age and crack them open and really read them, but I try to do for my older books, get them in omnibus format, that way I can still read and appreciate it without overly handling some of the copies I have. Detective Comics number 357. This one also is just a nice super high grade Silver Age book. And you can just tell by the artwork on all of these that we're in that Carmine Infantino era. It's just big, bold. The characters all have that same facial design. This is Detective Comics number 360. And actually, we're coming up on, I believe, the Detective Comics run has one of my favorite covers for Batman ever that we'll get to. But this is Detective Comics number 364. Super awesome, just almost like high impact pink background, if you guys know anything about muscle car colors. But another beautiful Carmine Infantino and Anderson cover. That one gets me every time just because how visually appealing it is. Then we have Detective Comics 365, super dark purple Joker cover. This one really pops right off there. Next up, we have Detective Comics 368. Like I said, this run altogether really utilized purple, probably more than any of the others. And these ones, I think we're actually coming up on. Yes. So this is Detective Comics 374, and this is probably one of my favorite Batman covers of any run ever. I love your alleyway perspective. Robin just got beat up, chilling down below. Batman's running down the alley. So you have the upward shot perspective of Batman coming down with the buildings rising up. This dark purple background that the Yellow and Detective and the Moon are just popping off of. This is one of my favorite covers. I have it in super nice high grade. This is just a gorgeous gem, and I was extremely happy to add this to the collection. I don't even remember if I said it, but that is Detective Comics 374 if I did not. And now, keeping with that perspective and purple theme, we have Detective Comics number 376. Again, just perfectly centered spine. This thing is definitely in the near mint copies. You can't go wrong with any covers from this era. They were just nailing them. Kind of like what Neil Adams was doing once he starts coming in. Carmine Infantino was almost the exact same way. We're just nailing cover after cover. This is Detective Comics number 377. This is one in a little bit lower grade that I would like to upgrade, because where it is a nice dark background, I want it to really pop more than this cover does. Then I have Detective Comics 378. Beautiful, gorgeous copy. Robin stalking Batman on the cover of the newspaper. Also really high grade. Then we have Detective Comics 380. Again, sticking with the purple drapes, the green background. And again, I got lucky with the centering on all of these. These are just immaculate. I love this entire run. But now I believe we start dipping more into the Neil Adams era with Detective Comics number 382. Still keeping some perspective play, still keeping the purples with the offset of a yellow background if it's not the logo. But we're still in the 12 centers. Then we have Detective Comics 386. Just another great Neil Adams. Also sticking with that 12 cent era. Detective Comics number 392, and I believe for the ones I have, yes, this is my first, I'm not sure if it is the first 15-cent copy, but it's at least the first 15-cent copy that I own. Another gorgeous purple cover, and again, like I said, that yellow popping off the background. You'll always usually see in this purple a moon somewhere or the use of yellow in the logo somehow to offset it. This is Detective Comics 397. Then we have Detective Comics 398. And this is actually a recent pickup I got on eBay for a super great price. Then we have Detective Comics number 400, the first appearance of Man-Bat. This one's actually in a little bit mid to lower copy. The middle of it presents well, but all around the edges, I think it's detached from the top staple. So it's a fine enough placeholder copy for now, but I definitely will be getting a much better copy of that one. This, on the other hand, Detective Comics 402, is an extremely high-grade copy. It took me a while to track one down with the centering and with the price I wanted to pay, but this one I finally got. Only a couple minorest of ticks on the spine, nothing going on with the main cover, nice crisp edges, beautiful Neil Adams, that swampy Man-Bat cover. Love this one. Then we have Detective Comics number 403. Still hanging on to that great Neil Adams era. Detective Comics number 404. This one has a little bit more wear than I thought on the spine and a little discoloration up top. So this is another one I will definitely be upgrading, hopefully sooner rather than later. Then another extremely classic for the Detective Comics run, Neil Adams and Detective Comics 408. Robin just slowly almost turning into ash and just crumbling away. Detective Comics number 410. And this one, I actually was super happy when I found it because I haven't read it, but from Batman the Animated Series, if anybody's familiar, there's an episode where Killer Croc, when he's fleeing, kind of goes off into the woods, finds this freak show circus that he joins. And it was kind of those, can he turn it around being with people that are similar to him or not? And I distinctly remember the big woman you have down here, the muscle man, but this little boy right here who almost has seal, like flipper legs and arms. And I thought that was super cool because I thought that was made for the episode and I did not know it was actually originally from the comics. So this was a really cool pickup when I got it. Then I have Detective Comics number 412. And this one, honestly, again, might be a near mint somewhere in there. The low end of near mint, but it is an extremely perfect, clean, crisp copy. Detective Comics number 413. Great Scarecrow cover again. The greens on that one just look great in the detail. Detective Comics number 416, another classic Man-Bat, also really cool green background. Then we have Detective Comics 420. This is another one that's not bad, but I would like to upgrade it because the condition is a little bit more mid than it is into that higher area. Then I have Detective Comics number 427. And I honestly might do a sub-video sometime. Some people collect robot covers, alien covers, big hand covers. For some reason, anytime you have marionettes, ventriloquists, dummies, puppeteers, kind of like this, those covers are always great to me. I have a few from across different titles that kind of fit that category that I might just make a random video one day. So don't be surprised if you see the most random of videos drop. Then we have Detective Comics number 433. A lot of the ones we're going to get into now are moving into that still classic cover, but a lot of them also became more of a condition buy. Detective Comics number 434. I believe this is the first appearance of the Spook, who you have right here on the cover. Detective Comics 435. Really love how the green pops off of this one. At first, I wasn't a fan of these Detective Comics where you have the logo and wording taking up the sides. You have this small kind of picture frame, but they really started to grow. Well, we took a dive. Really started to grow on me, where I started picking up more and more of them from this era as well. Detective Comics 436. Really great purple background cover. Detective Comics 440. And this is one of those 100-page giants, where if I get them for a great price, or I'm pretty sure some have just been tossed in with some of my orders sometimes as freebies, so I'll always be happy to have them, but I don't actively seek them out as much. Detective Comics number 443. Detective Comics 447, classic creeper cover. That's another episode from the new Batman Adventures that me and my little brother really loved. And at some point, when I go back to showcasing some of my Silver Age first appearances, I do have the first appearance of the creeper. Here we have Detective Comics 451. And again, all these ones we're going to be moving into now, for the most part, were just super high-grade opportunity impulse buys. That I'm not collecting the era as much, but I couldn't turn down the condition for the price. Detective Comics 455. Awesome vampire Batman cover. Jumping out of the coffin. You have Alfred down there. Then we have Detective Comics 456. And again, these ones where they go the opposite and it's just mostly that super black background just popping off of there. Detective Comics 469. Again, slight yellow background, yellow character coming off of it. Going through all of these back to back, it's amazing to me that theme on how many of these they've actually kept that purple-yellow combination. Batman Detective Comics 475. This is the classic Joker laughing fish, where he poisoned a bunch of fish so they had his smile. And if it's anything like the animated show, he was trying to make money off of trying to copyright anybody that had his fish. So these issues are just classic for the sake of that. There was that one we just had, along with Batman Detective Comics 476. And then we have Batman Detective Comics 477. Looks like we are finally about halfway, maybe a little bit more halfway through this box. And we have Detective Comics, 486. There it is. Couldn't even find it for a second. See if we can make a little bit more room in the box. There we go. Detective Comics 523. And I forget, this one might be like a cameo of Jason Todd. Either him or Killer Croc. There's a few books in there that are debated cameos, first appearances that always confuse me. Like this one right here is Detective Comics 524. And I think this might technically be the first appearance of Killer Croc. Classic cover. Detective Comics 530. And again, these ones are just in amazing condition. Pretty much most of the copies from here on, if I wanted to submit, it wouldn't surprise me if they could be that 9698. They're just gorgeous on that level, which is why most of these ones are why I picked them up. I didn't need them, didn't really seek them out, but the books were flawless and nobody else was bidding on them, so I did. Detective Comics 547. Detective Comics 550. Detective Comics 553. I could be wrong. I think this might be like the second or third appearance of Black Mask. Don't quote me, but I think it may be. I just really, really like the cover. Then we have Detective Comics 554. We're getting into it now. There we go. Detective Comics 555. Have what I believe is Captain Boomerang and Mirror Master facing off on the cover. And these ones, I have two copies. Detective Comics 556. Just because this cover with Batman and this woman, the reddish-orange background and how much they pop. And these books, these ones really are flawless. These, honestly, probably 9.9 candidates if I were to ever get them graded. I like my books raw if they're not first appearances, so I won't, but they are that nice. So you have this one that's more orangey, and this copy that's just a little bit more vibrant. You can see how much more red the corner is as opposed to that first copy on there. So another reason why I really, really wanted this one, this already was a great copy. This one is even more amazing, and those colors are just beautiful. So I know you're going to have some grading variant based on where the issue was printed and how much ink was left in the machine, what was coming off, but that one was gorgeous. Detective Comics 559. Detective Comics 562. Got a gorilla with a Tommy gun just going ape. Yeah, you're welcome for that. Detective Comics number 566, and this one I actually have a decent size poster up in this room of this one. Classic Batman looking down the hall of just his rogues gallery. Two-Face, Penguin, Riddler, Ra's al Ghul, Killer Moth, Mad Hatter, Joker, Poison Ivy. This is just one of those classic beautiful covers that I love everything about it. Then we have Detective Comics 573. Pretty cool Mad Hatter cover. And then we have Detective Comics 574. Gonna make a little bit more room in the box again. There we go. Detective Comics 580, just a really cool Two-Face cover. Detective Comics 581, also just a super high-grade Two-Face cover. And this is another one I need to get a better copy, but for now, Detective Comics 583, this is the first appearance of the ventriloquist and Scarface. Another episode from the Batman animated series that I loved as a kid growing up. Then you have Detective Comics 585, the first appearance of the Ratcatcher, which Ratcatcher 2 was featured in James Gunn's Suicide Squad. Detective Comics 587, just another great classic cover right here. Batman silhouetted with the rain. Detective Comics 589, just another great high-grade, super dark black background beauty. The Burning Pit. Detective Comics 590. Detective Comics 592, and a lot of the ones in the next 5-10 issues are all from the same claim sale that I won, where I wasn't really hunting them down, but nobody else was bidding, and they're near perfect copies, so I got them for cheap. Detective Comics 593. Detective Comics 596. And this issue, I don't know if either it is giving a nice homage to Spider-Man or Spider-Man was to this. I don't know what came out first. But in my Amazing Spider-Man run, I think it's in one of these Spider Slayer issues. There is very, very reminiscent of this, a Spider-Man hanging just like this on the cover, but caught up in webbing instead of these film reels right here. So I don't know if they meant to homage each other, one the other, but it would be very, very coincidental if they did not, given how similar the pose is. So if anybody out there does know, just let me know in the comments. Really, really love this cover now. Detective Comics, 80-page giant. This is $5.98. We're getting into that Kelly Jones, I believe, goodness. Then I have Detective Comics, $5.99. And this one is actually the first appearance of Henry Ducard, one of the people that trained Batman on his journey to actually become Batman. And that character, at least the alias, was featured in Batman Begins. This is Detective Comics 608, the first appearance of Anarchy, who, again, I haven't really seen him in anything, but he was used in some of the Arkham games, or at least one of them. Detective Comics 611, just another high-grade beauty. Now we're getting into some of the Knightfall stuff. I love these covers so much. Batman 659. Being a 90s kid, these are the covers that I love the Neil Adams stuff. I love the Silver Age stuff. But these ones are the ones I grew up seeing that I can't help but not like. Same thing with the Spider-Man issues. I love hunting down all the nice classic old Silver Age issues. But I grew up in that 90s McFarlane Bagley era. That's my kind of bread and butter. This is Detective Comics 664. And again, you'll see a theme of a giant hulking figure, typically leaning over somebody else on all of these for Kelly Jones. All of these covers are so beautiful. They go together so well. Detective Comics 666 with a massive Bane taking up the whole cover. The detail that he does, while a little over-exaggerated, is just crazy, and I love it. Detective Comics 668. Detective Comics 683. Pretty cool penguin cover right there. Oh, looks like this one actually snuck into the... Oh, no, it is Detective Comics. Sorry, it was just really, really dark. Detective Comics 695, Batman Contagion, number 2. And this is actually the very rare DC Universe logo variant. Now we're getting a little bit newer. Batman Detective Comics 808. I really, really love the ventriloquist and Scarface. This cover right here, the style of it, you got Scarface right on the cover. I really, really love this cover. This is just beautiful. And while we're at it, I have a couple really, really new ones that they are in the box, so we'll go over them. Detective Comics 1023. This is as we're getting into the very, very recent Joker War stuff that was happening with Tinian and that. So, but still, modern cover, but really, really cool. And then I think right hot off the heels of it is Detective Comics 1024, just continuing that same storyline. Then we have Detective Comics 1025. So you're really getting a span of all the eras right here. Then we have Detective Comics 1029. And I could be wrong, but this may be the first appearance of that character on the cover, the Mirror. Detective Comics 1035. Again, same thing, don't quote me, but it might be the first appearance of this gentleman right here, Mr. Worth, who kind of looks like a much bigger penguin. And then the last book I have for my main Raw Detective Comics run is Detective Comics 1039. And same thing, I believe this is the first appearance of this character right here, Vile. Alright, so that is it for all of my Raw issues, but I do believe that I have at least one Detective Comics in a nice slab, so I will grab that one next. Batman Detective Comics 373, and this is also just a beautiful Silver Age cover. It is the only slab I own, and this is actually the second appearance of Mr. Freeze, and I believe it is the first time he is actually called Mr. Freeze. First appearance, he was known as Mr. Zero. It wasn't until this issue, his second appearance, that he got the name Mr. Freeze. And this copy is a super, it would be honestly better than a 6, but I think it has a popped bottom staple right here. So for a 6.0, you'll see it presents way better than that because it's just that staple that's bringing it down. So really happy. I got this also super cheap in a claim sale. But that'll do it for the main Detective Comics run right now. Again, there's a lot more Silver Age ones I'm going to be cracking on, so now that we're caught up, I'll probably go over those as I get them. That is every issue of Detective Comics that I own. As you saw, 99% of it is all Raw. It is only the rare covers or appearances that I'll actually get slabbed. And I have books almost coming in every week from eBay sales, claim sales, random buys here or there when I go out to comic shops. So instead of showing off 1 or 2 books at a time, this gets us all caught up with, you've seen my whole Batman collection now. You have seen my whole Detective Comics collection now. So now as I get books in, I'll just kind of showcase the new additions to the collection rather than picking a few out here or there. I still have a few issues in my first appearances for DC's Silver Age. That, again, those will be single showcase little episodes, but at least this gets us caught up on everything Batman, because that's the most of what I have coming in every week that I would just like to keep up with you guys and show you as I get them now. So thank you very much for checking out this video, and until next time.